right. Hey, folks. So just thought I'd come on and just bring you guys essentially what happened, the situation with Mike Van Wyck and Jeff Nippard. Completely out of the blue yesterday. This is just an insane story. But yeah, Mike Van Wyck apparently assaulted Jeff Nippard yesterday without any prior provocation, just right out of the blue. According to the accounts that we have, the video footage showed him throat jabbing Jeff once, and then off camera apparently did it again, and also shoved the cameraman. So yeah, we can have a quick look at Jeff's reaction here. So this was the original. Where are we? Yeah, so this was the original.
So mediocre, yet so much.
I know I don't need to respond to this, but since he asked, using science-based training, I won Natural Bodybuilding Nationals. I earned my pro card on the most competitive stage in the World Natural Bodybuilding Federation. I placed second in my first bodybuilding pro show, and while doing this, I set the Canadian record on the bench press, and I set a provincial record on the squat. I currently weigh 180 pounds at 5'5" tall, which is pretty close to my natural limit given my height and my genetics. That's all besides the point though, because facts are facts. Information is either right or wrong. It doesn't matter who that information is coming from. If the people with the best physiques had the most knowledge, why would C-Bum need a coach? He has the best physique on the planet. Who could possibly know more than him? Well, it's pretty obvious that bodybuilding success comes from great genetics and really hard training. And if you want to make it in the IFBB, steroid use. I like science because it gives me more confidence in what actually works and what doesn't, because it isolates variables. If you trust a big guy's advice over scientific studies, that doesn't bother me. I listen to what big guys have to say too.
We all know the science.
Yeah, so basically that was the thing. Mike did a reel or some story or something. I don't follow Mike, but Mike did something saying something like, if the science guys are so knowledgeable, why are they all so mediocre? Now, Jeff, he's in the industry. He figured, hey, why not? I'll reply. Mike is on a public platform. He's putting it out there on public. And so Jeff took it on himself to reply, which is fair enough. You're on a public platform. Like, anybody can reply to anything I say, right? It's just the way it is. You can't get mad about it, right? So anyway, Jeff replies with what I consider to be a very eloquent reply. I think he wasn't rude. He stated some facts. He said why he likes to train the way he does, why he likes science. Also stated results. And, Jeff's pretty jacked. He's competing in bodybuilding, competing in powerlifting. He's pretty yoked. So he gave that as an account of why he does what he does. Awesome. Now, the next thing we know is that, yeah, Jeff gets assaulted. So I do have the video footage of that as well. Let me just see if I can find it for you guys. It's on somebody else's account. Here we go. Okay. All right. Check this out.
Damn.
So this just happened. Big Mike Van Wyck just assaulted Jeff Nippard in the gym. Jeff stitched a video of Mike's yesterday. Now I feel like I need to show you the. All right, guys. Quick update on the situation of Jeff getting attacked by Big Mike Van Wyck.
Yeah, so there we go. Completely out of the blue. This is absolutely insane. I'd say this is huge. I mean, this is reminds me of when Rich Piana slapped that kid. Forget his name now, Jason Genova. So it's pretty big. It's pretty big. I don't see how this won't end up with some kind of either lawsuit or criminal, police involvement. It just seems like too far gone for that. So let me just bring up Jeff's reaction here. So Jeff came on afterwards and said he went to the hospital, got himself checked out, everything was fine. And he gave his own account of what happened. Essentially what he said happened, which he says is confirmed by the cameras at the gym. They were both in the same place. Jeff was filming some kind of reel. Mike brushed him and said, sup. And then there was some kind of interaction. Mike didn't like Jeff's reply, went up to him, throat jabbed him again, pushed his cameraman, and that was about it. So that's kind of everything we know right now. So I wanted to kind of come on, just give you guys my thoughts on this. Because I'm not to make this all about me, but this is something I've talked about with my wife. Like I think because I've come into the whole YouTube space later in life. I've had a life where I was a school teacher, very ordinary job, right? And you know, when you're a school teacher, you're kind of anonymous. No one knows you. Like in my hometown, no one knows me. Well, at least they didn't up until recently. So now, doing the job that I do now, being out in the public eye, there is a danger that I think Mike has been exposed to. And I think this is kind of, I don't think he necessarily has the self-awareness to see what's going on. Because I think what I see with some influencers is they don't necessarily have a great ability to debate or to take on board different points of view because they don't have to. And I think it's a real problem, which I'm very aware that I don't want to go down that road, because I think when you're online, you know, you have a following, even like with you guys, like I have a following of about 8,000 people on YouTube. It's not huge, but it's a lot of people, you know, 8,000. And most of my videos, it's very positive and everything. And I think if you're used to people agreeing with you all the time, it can become very difficult to handle disagreements, even differences of opinion. Your ability to pass that out can be quite difficult, because it's all too easy just to hide away on the internet or hide away with people who support you no matter what. I mean, even now with the Mike Van Wyck incident, there's people online who are actually defending his actions, which is insane. Like, you cannot defend that kind of action. It's crazy. So my thought with Mike is he's more than likely spent so much time in the public limelight. He's so used to people agreeing with him. He's just lost the ability completely to critically think, to debate, to be able to take on board any kind of differing opinion. And it just drives him into this rage, which is no doubt fueled by the steroids, which he's clearly taking. So I think that's a very real danger for people, you know, like people who are in the public eye. I think you have to be able to take on board disagreements. You have to be able to deal with those with grace and, you know, all that. Because there was nothing in Jeff's reply at all which was disrespectful, at all. It was a very balanced reply. There was not even a hint of sass in it at all. It was like really, really kind and nice. And Mike still took that in the worst possible way, doing the most unforgivable thing. That's what I think it is. That's what I think it is with Mike. I think he's been in the public eye for so long. He's just completely lost the ability to critically think, to handle any kind of disagreement. And as I say, I've seen this with other influencers I've been involved with, you know, I've like had interactions with, you know, their ability to take on board any kind of minor disagreement is just surprisingly not there. And I think it's because when they go online, they have hordes of people who are willing to go, yes, mate, agree with what you said. Fantastic. And it's easier. And I think over time, if you don't practice your ability to debate, if you don't practice your ability to take on board opposing opinions, I think it becomes very difficult to retain that ability, you know? That's kind of my thoughts on that. I think the drug issue is obviously part of it as well. Yeah, it's a big thing. I think with the drug issue, I think there's probably two sides to it. I think more impulsive people tend to go on to steroids. I don't have any research behind this, right? But it's just what I've seen. I think generally people who are naturally more impulsive, more prone to taking risks, go onto the steroids. And I think the steroids also make you more prone to taking risks and make you more impulsive. So it's like a downward spiral, which is not good. In simple terms, I think you have to be a little bit unhinged to be on them. And I think when you're on them, you become more unhinged. So I don't think that side of it helps either. Yeah, I mean, pretty nuts. There's a few of you guys watching. What do you guys think? I think it's pretty nuts. I think this is pretty huge. Personally, I think, like one of the guys said, this is probably all that Michael will be remembered for sure. I don't know what's going to happen to him, you know. I guess we'll see. But I'd say it's a pretty major thing. Anyway, I guess I'll call it there. But I just wanted to go on and just, as it that particular side of it, the bit that I said afterwards, I think that's something that's been on my mind since my popularity has sort of risen. Oh, thank you for the update. Yeah, Mike's been banned from the gym as well. Cool. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so I guess the gym's kind of cotton on, they banned him too. Yeah. One of the comments is, I think I can bring these comments up, I think, can I? Yeah, okay. He'd be nothing without roids. Yeah, I mean, a lot of guys wouldn't. You know, I think a lot of guys wouldn't. It's the roids have made their physique. They capitalize on that. You know. Mike made a dozen videos basically seething about Jeff being small and still came out a smaller one. That's pretty funny. Yeah, yeah, definitely. It's disgusting behavior. It deserves to be prosecuted for being a dangerous society. Yeah. I mean, I can't see. I think Jeff would be very justified in getting police involved. I don't think he'll do it. I think maybe suing would probably be a more likely option, but that's pretty nuts. Mike, yeah. He always talks down on naturals. Yeah. Mike's been going after Jeff for a long time. I didn't know that. So I yeah, I didn't know that. I don't follow Mike. So I didn't know that. I'm kind of loosely aware of him, but the reason I don't like Mike is he has those black and white reels, which I think is a bit pretentious. You know, do you guys agree? I mean, I've always thought they're a bit pretentious. I don't follow a lot of people, but the black and white reels, it's like trying to give this impression of being all old school, genuine, authentic. And Mike, you're not that old. Like you're in color. So I thought was a bit strange. I find myself gagging a bit if his content appears on my feed. Jeff also has said he wants the gym to release the security footage because apparently he's claiming people saying that Jeff instigated first. Yeah. So on that note, I heard the rumor as well. I think Jeff actually addressed that in his. Yeah, Jeff addressed it here. Yes. I also want to say I'm sure he addressed it somewhere. Oh yeah. There's already a lie going around that Mike asked me to stay away from him and that I didn't listen and approach him first. This is false. And Pure Muscle and Fitness, the gym, has security footage to prove it. I think they should release it. Yeah. So yeah, he's kind of addressed that already, and I think they should. I think they should for sure. I remember a clip of him saying, "If you don't use steroids, you're only getting a smaller coffin." Yeah. That's it sounds like something you'd say. If we spent more time finding out what we have in common, I suppose what we don't agree on, we might be better off. I think so. I mean, that's what my channel's about. You know, I released that video recently talking about high volume and high intensity and how I use both. You know, in reality, that's what you do. You know, you use both. I have another video coming out actually soon on a similar thing. But yeah, absolutely. I think it's better to find common ground. Just to give you a sneak peek on that video coming out soon. You know, the whole like optimal bros with perfect form versus like swinging a weight around. I think both camps have actually got some substance, you know, to them. I personally use more of a middle ground where I kind of use both. So I think that's another example where I think in reality you can benefit from multiple things, like higher volumes, higher intensities. I think you can benefit from both. That we'd be better off doing that. But then that's the difference between YouTube as entertainment versus YouTube as education. Like I like to see my channel as YouTube for education, not for entertainment. So, but yeah, you're very right. Morning, dude. The black and white, yes. Yeah, I always found that just very difficult to swallow. Doesn't deserve a platform, not a fan of cancer people. Yeah, no, you're right. I'm not a fan of cancer people either. No, you're right. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, but I think this is probably a bit extreme. You're in color, yes. Awesome, dude. Thank you very much. Yeah, I do. I try to be at the gym for 6:45. Yeah. Wait a second. I see what you did there, right? Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Right. If you catch me in the gym, right. I think that's all the comments. So I will kind of leave it there. I've got a couple of troll comments, but I'm not going to show them. You guys can see them in the chat if you want. But yeah, I'll call it there, guys. So have a nice day, everyone. We'll see what happens with this. I am going to go have some breakfast. So take care.